wild, yes, live casting, video, audio, whole lot of things. So each of them is a different platform, and they serve a particular community and target a particular consumer behavior. Now, what is B2B content? For every B2B product, there are users out there looking to expand their knowledge or get inspired by their peers. B2B content marketing can rival the creativity, appeal of the best consumer campaigns. So, yes, LinkedIn is the biggest platform, Twitter is second, YouTube most important, SlideShare again important. So, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Google, they go below. Effectiveness, LinkedIn is the highest because you can create groups and share with those groups interesting information and case studies and can help them develop their knowledge back. So, very important to focus on rare content. 4Ps, yes, the buyers are trained professionals who care about the quality of products, their cost, the product has to be absolutely quality based, which is what we stand for. Price, B2B marketers do not need to be concerned about the price if you ask me, because you're giving solution to the client and they're solution based pricing. Yes, place, we all know we operate in niche markets, so we need to be on those niche markets, straightforward, knowledge sharing, and we need to become marketing specialists. We are not just selling, but we are selling, conselling and selling. So marketers need to be experts, not only of marketing and advertising, but experts with their field. So domain knowledge is very important in B2B marketing, particularly when it comes to. So, and here there is no need to have any traditional media. The digital media can help you in promotion in a big way because you're in a B2B environment. So let's look at an example. Now, FireRock. FireRock manufactures pre-engineered masonry. Yes, big time present on Pinterest. People, they go on pinning various pictures of what they have created. It has one of the best B2B accounts. Okay, they create beautiful, kind of houses, and they put them there. L&T has got a big scope here. Look at all this construction that we have done. Nice pictures that we can share. G now, again coming back to G on Instagram. Nothing in life is to be feared, it's only to be misunderstood. Marie Curie. Now this is the one which ran and instantly 2000 odd kind of reviews, one picture, but look at the message that it conveys. Northrop Grumman. How many people have heard? I'm sure the participants who are working with the defense and aerospace, they would have heard of this company. Big time. Look at there. I'm not giving you sharing much. Yes, they are on Facebook, they're on Twitter, they're on YouTube, and they are on Instagram. Look at wonderful placements they have got. Watch that company. Take another example. Now we are doing this K9 Vajra at L&T. Have we done anything? We can just put up on our website, okay, illustration, infographics, how the aiming circle works, how the propeller works, at what degree it needs to be kept. 45 degrees is ideal for any kind of a propulsion. Putting up small videos, putting up pictures, blogs, white paper. The common man is interested in knowing how does the K9 Vajra T gun fire. Now let's look at the content marketing mix. Yes, I won't explain everything. It's too deep. When I teach content marketing, I teach the whole thing. Yes, on one axis is emotional to rational, other axis is awareness to purchase. The entire purpose of any content marketing matrix is to start entertaining customer, because when you start entertaining, the customer will be interested in watching you. It is an emotional contact and it's an awareness. And then you move up the slide. From entertainment, you start educating. From entertainment, you start inspiring the customer. And then in the fourth block, you start convincing the customer. And I've put various kind of platforms that you can use for this entire content matrix. That's it. To explain this, it takes one full day. I do it this on a content marketing platform. So yes, I just put the slide up there to explain to you what is content all about. Now, user generated content. Another key thing, comments, reviews posted by real customers, as you know, recommendations, stories, caselets, small things. They're happy about it. I bought this. Oh, I use this services from L&T. Oh, this construction work L&T did wonderfully. I'm living in the entire L&T complex in Coimbatore. Everybody who lives there, they pride about it. The entire Millennium complex in Bangalore on Bandagatta Road, the L&T construction is too good. People still pride about it. So all these things that in the form of blogs, video, discussion from posts, digital images, audio files, whatever kind of all these things can become online. Please remember, they should all be unsolicited, meaning user generated content, if you solicit them to give that comment, it can become detrimental to your interest. So anything that is user generated has to be unsolicited, not asked for by you. Now coming to Google PageRank. Now Google has got many ways of bringing you on top of their search engine, which is called Search Engine Result Page, SERP. First is your Google rank. Search engine serves organic, inorganic, both. The heart of the Google searching software is a PageRank, a system of ranking pages developed by Page and Brin from Stanford University. And this is what is used extensively by Google. If you want, anybody can join in for a Google Analytics program, which will take you through the Google Analytics part, PageRank included, Google Panda included, Google Penguin included, whole lot of things. And yes, if you want a one-day program, we can do on Google Analytics. Yes, but these are now, what is it? Essentially, Google interprets a link from page A to page B as a vote by page A for port B, for page B, meaning recommendation. Now, but these votes doesn't weigh the same because Google also analyzes page that casts the vote, meaning what is the domain authority that person has. So if Amitabh Bachchan talks about acting, great. But if I talk about acting, what domain authority I have about acting? So if I'm going to say something on digital marketing, yes, Dave Chaffee, Lou Roberts, okay, Seema Gupta, or Chaffee, Pearsons. I mean, they are the ones who would look, yes, because somebody who has been into digital marketing since 2006, 12 years is big time. Yes, domain authority, domain power, how they integrate in the market is important to understand the page rank. Now, the other feature that I was wanting to talk to you, very important for L&T, is ORM. ORM stands for, manufacturing people will mistake it, but not manufacturing. This is online reputation management. Now, because L&T is an ethical brand, please remember, anybody who talks about L&T will talk with pride and with trust. The trust is the most important thing. So never cross legal or ethical lines. Like I had someone at the break session a question, never ever. We don't compete with anybody. So never ever cross legal or ethical lines. Check about your clients and their motivations. Very important. Before, see, when I talk about how do you select dealers? Obviously, there are five C's. First C stands for character. Will you give Dawood Ibrahim a dealership? He's a crook. First C, character. Second C, you look whether the person has got capability. Third C, he will look, does he have capital to invest? Fourth C, does he have the, collateral to give me? Fifth C, does he have the, agree with the conditions that I set? So, when you apply these 5C principles, you can check on your dealers, check on your clients and their motivations. Because you don't want to sell any of your product or deal with anybody who can be detrimental to your image. The endorsement that you receive must be truthful and cannot be misleading. Keep your timelines realistic. As marketing people, we all have a very common problem. We overcommit. We overcommit and we commit and we cannot deliver. So please keep the timelines realistic because you are online. Please remember, in digital marketing, it's very important. On a SAP, very important. On an ERP program, very important that you put the right timelines. And that too, when you have contractual obligations, having the right timelines is very important. So people often have very high expectations and they ignore the ground realities. It's up to you to explain to them how this can be met. Same way, hard bargaining. You have to be realistic to the situation. Most important, learn to manage negatives. Negatives will happen. You need to how to manage them. And it's very important, particularly when you are looking at your ORM. The most critical part of your suppression project is building links to assets. Very, very important links. Those links are the ones which will help, whether it is backlinks or forward links, which we call hyperlink. What is an hyperlink? Hyperlink is something that connects to HTML pages, the technical definition, but to web pages. However, not all assets will be able to support the same link velocity. As I said, Amitabh Bachchan domain authority, the link velocity is very high. Some others cannot. So let's say one of the biggest dealers in Delhi, Chowdi Bazaar, talks something big about us, or Delhi Narayana industrial dealer talks something very big about us. Because he is also dealer to other companies like Siemens and XYZ. So his word has that weightage. Then the velocity happens. Quick round of what is QR, AR, VR, and gamification. Now, these are all tools which are being used in digital platform today. Now, digital marketing strategy at L&T can be multi-dimensional. So we have such wonderful success stories to share. We can share by using various kind of platforms. Now, QR code, you all know the multi-dimensional code that you see in every product. When you go out, you can scan that and reach the company's website. Now, QR code can connect your customer to your content. QR code is extensively used in railways, in airlines, and things like that. Then augmented reality can give them visualization. You can create a situation like you're building a bridge. You can create an AR and show them how the bridge will look when it comes up. And you can do everything using CAD/CAM programming with AR. Same virtual reality can become a big CRM stride. Like I told about IKEA, there are Home Depot does it in America very skillfully. Like the customer, what the customer wants, the home furniture customer wants, the customer just beams in the living room and connects with their VR tool. They can place each of those furniture wherever they want, and they can pick and choose from big list and big library of those or images which are there on the net and place them virtually in their living room and select that and buy them. Then comes gamification, can attract, create, engage, and nurture the customer in many ways. Gamification, I'll explain to you a little bit more. QR code, you all know, QR stands for quick response. Look me, click me. It's a two-dimensional barcode, machine readable optical label. I mean, there are many formats which are there, but all of them are meant for reaching the customer out to you. AR overlays, as I told, you want a house, how that house will look on a ground. Yes, there are companies who do that. Same way as I said about IKEA. I mean, you can connect these two frames, superimpose them, and decide what you want to buy and how you want to go about it. Yes, I also talked about the gamification. Accenture used it extensively. In fact, I had somebody from LTE who talked about, sir, how this gamification worked, and I explained to him how Accenture used it extensively for hiring people and then for engaging their people from higher jobs. L'Oreal did this a couple of years back. Want to get hired at L'Oreal? All you got to do is simply play a game and just a tool. Same tool can be used for your dealer, particularly dealer learning tools, acquisition of um, particularly new talent acquisition. Yes, great tool. That's it. Here, probably this day I was in Bangalore. We did a full day's program on digital marketing, and it was well received. I had upwards of 40 plus people were there as participants, and some of them are still in connection with me, asking various questions. Now, again, opening up to you for questions.
Breakthrough and emoji slide. I missed reading.
Yeah, you will get the slides. We are sharing the slides, entire PPT with you, so you'll have them with you.
Ankit, nowadays few e-commerce companies are also opening brick and motor shops. Is it a strategy to cover all modes, or is it a changing behavior of customer?
Very good question. Let me tell you, e-commerce and brick and mortar will coexist. Like Amazon, in the whole of US, Amazon has got sales outlets also. Take the case of Fry's. Fry's is a big electronics store, online store, but they have outlets also. Now, there are many people who buy online, but they want what they bought online, they want that to be set up, they want that to be explained, they want to have a touch and feel, they go to a brick and mortar company. That is one way of looking at it. Take it, now look at all those apparel companies. Take Nike, Balance. Just the other day, I was discussing with one of the, senior VPs of one of the marketing companies that in 1 month, 4 stores in Bandra closed down. Now, whether you say Nike, Balance, Adidas, all of them, they have stores only for visibility. And when you go there, they will tell you, sir, why don't you buy online? You get 30% off. Why? Now, these stores are kept there for touch and feel and trying it out. They don't have inventory at all. And they would prefer to buy, they want them to go and buy online. So yes, for both backward and forward integration for purchase behavior, there will be brick and mortar as well as online. I hope I have answered your question.
Such as reality or expensive electronics, is it wise for companies to spend/invest in enriching customer experience using technologies like AR, VR now in the future?
The future is completely going to be driven by these 3 things that I talked about. It will be undoubtedly AR, VR, and IoT. Because you want to buy a house, you would want to have a virtual tour of the house. Yes. You want to look at what has gone into the wall. You cannot go and knock the wall and check. But yes, if you have VR and AR, if there's a question, okay, how this wall has been constructed, it will tell you, okay, there is it's a 9-inch wall, there's a brick, and there is a 20 cementing using this kind of cementing material, and then this kind of steel has gone into it. All that you can do using VR and AR platforms. AR and VR both are going to stay, and these are the 2 platforms which are going to be extensively used for high value buying decisions. Because how do you convince a customer of what material you're used, of what the best way is to use these kind of platforms. I hope I've answered.
Oil and gas EPC company like LTHE, which is into construction, fabrication, and installation and commissioning for oil and exploration company as our customer.
Do you want your customers to come to you rather than you go to the customer? And only way that you can do is becoming a industry communication center. Meaning anybody wants to learn about oil and gas, they should come to L&T. They should come to your site. They should come to your, digital platform. You can create a whole digital marketing strategy based on oil and gas. They need not go elsewhere. Ministries, who are your customers? Government and ministries. And if they're buying, how do they buy? They research online. Now, if you want them to research online, you can have tools. You can do a lot of e-marketing. You can send them e-brochures. You can send them e-magazines. You can tell them stories. You can send them caselets. This is an ongoing exercise. In fact, I had listed out 152 countries and listed out the oil and gas or the energy, department in those countries, and suggested that you should have constant communication with them. And only way to do constant communication is to engage them on digital side. So you send them e-brochures, send them PDFs about caselets, keep on sending your emails to them regularly. That hand-holding has to be continuous. In fact, because you are in a niche market and a B2B company, the digital marketing avenues available to you are also niche and are a huge platform to become successful.
These can be used in real estate business.
Good question, but this is a marketing question. Now, upselling is primarily done when you know the customer has come to you and the customer's financial capabilities. When I am talking about in real estate market, when we talk about the financial capability, his capability to invest in the property, that whatever it is, 10% or 15% now, and his capability to get loan, if is higher, yes, you have to upsell to that customer. When the customer let's say you have a property, you are saying that property costs 2 crores. And the customer comes and says, well, I am taking a loan of 1 crore and 1 crore I am paying you upfront. Now, this is an opportunity where you can look whether upselling is possible. How? Because you want only 15% or 25% upfront from him. Balance 85% or 75% he should take loan. So next thing you should look, okay, what is his monthly income? And what is his income that is disposable in terms of paying the EMI? And you find that he is capable of paying higher EMI, he is capable of getting a higher loan. This is a avenue for upselling. You should never sell a 2 crore flat. Instead, you should sell him a 3 crore flat and say 1 crore becomes 33%, balance 67%, I'm getting you a loan. Very important. Then comes cross-selling. When you know that there is a family, let's say there is a family consisting of XYZ number of members, right? And you know that not only house, besides the house, they need many other things also. Maybe L&T finance products. Maybe L&T, some other division can supply some products. Maybe he is building a house, so there is scope for L&T to supply the E&A products there. I just give you an example how same thing happens when somebody is putting up a factory, or somebody is building up a bridge, or somebody is building up a new convention center. I remember one of the convention centers which we are being discussed, L&T went with the entire package. Okay, we will give you this, we will give you this, including we will do the complete ICT for you. This was way back about 10, 12 years back. But yes, it was one project which somebody went in for construction, but took everything from them, including.
How should we look to size and equip a digital marketing team? Should this be just an extension of traditional marketing setup?
Everybody in the company should understand digital marketing, including the person at the security gate. There is a thing called a separate setup. As I keep telling everybody, digital marketing is nothing that can come from outside you. It has to come within you. It has to come within you, and you need to understand that yes, you need to change. You can't say that no, somebody will come and do the entire digital marketing strategy for us. No. The current marketing team has to transform itself from traditional marketing to digital marketing. When I say that, you cannot ignore all the steps of traditional marketing. The traditional marketing has to be there, maybe about 20%, 80% has to be digital marketing. Next.
I hope, Arvind, you're satisfied with the answer.
What happened? People have got tired.
Just waiting for some more questions.
Another 2 minutes.
Okay, I suppose there is no other questions. So I will conclude the program by thanking Sir for accepting the invitation and conducting the session. Thank you to all the participants for being a part of this webinar. So request everyone to please give their feedback through the chat box, 5 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, and send it to everyone. I would request all the participants to please give their valuable feedback through the chat box, 5 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. 4th anniversary of our co-founder, Mr. Henrik Hall Clarkson. A big thank you to him for what he started. Thank you so much, sir, for conducting the webinar.
My pleasure, Nehal. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I hope people have enjoyed, because I could see the feedbacks are pretty good. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Share my PPTs, share my email IDs with people who want to get in touch with me. And,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.